So for those of you not familiar with Disney parks, the Haunted Mansion tends to have two separate vibes going on simultaneously. Part of it is happy haunts, super fun, etc. And the other part is, boy, there's actually some legitimately creepy stuff happening here.
That sure is a lady wielding an axe talking about how she's decapitated all of her previous lovers.
I mean, even just the opening elevator bit. My favorite cast member introduction to the elevator, and again, those who haven't done the ride, you get herded into an elevator, and that's the one that has the stretching portraits and the is this haunted room actually stretching bit. My favorite cast member introduction to that is drag your bodies to the dead center of the room to view the paintings the host has hung himself. So, like, Haunted Mansion can get a little dark.
I'm looking at you, cast member.
First time I heard that, it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, all right, Disneyland After Dark!
Those are Crypt Keeper puns.
They are, and they're amazing, but like, yeah, no, it's, Haunted Mansion has some kind of fucked up stuff in it sometimes. So, our first Haunted Mansion movie starred Eddie Murphy and was much more on the happy haunts side of things. You know, the vibe you get when you're in the graveyard and there's the fun song and everyone's having a good time, whatever. If I'm remembering this correctly, this new Haunted Mansion movie is helmed by Guillermo del Toro. Slightly different vibe.
This has been in development for years.
So we've got a trailer. They call it a teaser trailer. It's 1 minute and 44 seconds long. Like, that's a long ass teaser.
That feels like a regular trailer.
A little bit, yeah. Anyway, I'm Katie.
I'm Megan.
And we're gonna watch the Haunted Mansion teaser.
I will say that if you like hearing us talk about spooky and spooky adjacent things, there's also another channel you can go to when this video is over.
Yes, we also have a horror channel for all the horror stuff. And you bet your ass we're going to be losing our noise over Scream 6 when it comes out. Absolutely. Over there. But for now,
the reason we're here and not over there is because Katie has a very specific affinity for Disney stuff and for Haunted Mansion in particular.
Oh yeah, no, to be fair, I didn't even consider offering it to Silver Screams.
That's
it was
why,
like mine.
I know.
It goes on this channel.
You called dibs, essentially.
You bet your ass I did. Alrighty. So we are looking at the Haunted Mansion 2023 official teaser trailer. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Click.
I can't believe this is real.
I know, right?
Welcome home.
This was announced years ago.
This place isn't as warm as I'd hoped. But I'm going to light vanilla candle, and it's going to be a game changer. Will it though?
Oh, honey! Oh!
This mansion is unhinged. She needs all the help she can get. You want to be a hero?
Oh, wow.
Pass. $1. What's the address?
Oh, the changing portraits.
Ooh.
It's the same portrait.
This house has a way of playing tricks on you.
That's cool.
No windows and no doors.
It pulled a Skinamarink.
Oh my god.
Is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
The axe.
Be careful. Death lurks around every corner.
Other more powerful entities may come through.
Not on our watch. Well, what are you gonna do? Seriously?
Yeah. They're already dead.
You're gonna be deader.
Okay.
Oh, yes! Spoilers for The Haunting, I guess. The last time Owen Wilson was in a haunted house movie, he lost his head!
Yeah, but the CGI is remarkably better in this one.
I'm just like, wait a minute, I've seen this before.
So I've seen 2 casting announcements for this. One of them made me very happy, and one of them was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. The bad one is Jared Leto's in this movie
Oh,
as the Hatbox Ghost of all people.
Huh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like, why do you keep tapping this man for these things? You need to stop.
You must have a really good agent.
I guess. Or he's a straight white guy on Hollywood Forgets. The good one is Jamie Lee Curtis as Madame Leota. Yes.
I did not hear that. That's amazing.
I just
I was
started
just
following her
about
on Instagram, and she put the announcement up, and I went,
I was just about to ask, who do you think they got to play Madame Leota?
Jamie Lee fucking Curtis.
Because
That's who.
they got Jennifer Tilly in the first one. And look, I know a
Ooh.
lot of people really disliked the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie, and I will fully admit it's not the best film.
The
I
problem
didn't
is,
hate
it was made on the heels of Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
as another attraction-based ride.
Yeah.
And the OG Pirates of the Caribbean is phenomenal, honestly. Just
In spite of
whole-ass
everything,
phenomenal. Yeah.
it really is.
really worked well. So it's like, all right, we're gonna ride that train, and then they made the OG Haunted Mansion movie, which was okay.
Yeah.
It was.
It's nothing
all
spectacular,
right.
but
It was super okay. It sure did exist.
yeah. I didn't hate it though. Like, I think it gets, for whatever reason, it gets really maligned as being far worse than it actually is. And I'm
Again,
like, I didn't see
because
that.
the comparison was
Yeah.
Pirates.
Yeah.
So the expectations were set very
Well,
high.
I also think it was released during a certain era of like Eddie Murphy movie releases that were sort of hit or miss with in terms of quality.
Fair.
But like I said, I didn't hate it. But I think part of the problem as well is that when people think Haunted Mansion, so many, like, there's so much you can do
Yeah.
with a Haunted Mansion movie, so the potential is limitless,
Yeah.
basically, with 900 and happy haunts that you can sort of...
999.
Oh, whatever.
There's room for one more.
But like, there's so much you can do. And I've heard people say like, I think a buddy of ours who's also a big Disney nut has been like, why aren't we doing an anthology series?
Yes!
Like that would be amazing. And I have
let's
to
be
concur
real.
with her on that one.
Anthology series would solve a lot of problems for a lot of properties.
Yeah.
I go back to my pitch for a Death Note anthology
I'd
series,
watch that.
which is, I think that's on this, I'm pretty sure I put that on this channel a little ways
It
back.
is.
But yeah, so this looks like fun, and that we know Guillermo del Toro is really good at striking a balance between the creepy and the heartfelt and the funny. Like,
Yeah.
he's very, very good at this. So just know it, and again, it is GDT on this, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I don't
that's
know
what
if he's
thought.
directing or if he's a producer, but his
Yes.
hands are in this. You know?
Yes. And just seeing how some of the ghosts are put together, seeing, I think her name is Constance, the bride.
Just
The
even
way
just
that the bride is
dragging the
used.
axe.
Yes!
Very Shining-esque. It's great.
Yes!
Oh, man.
Because I mean, like, a lot of the haunts are just, oh, they're happy haunts, oh, we're having a good time, whatever. And then you have this one that you go through the attic that is just the scrapbook of her murder. She is a serial killer.
Well-
and you're seeing all of her bridal trophies before you see her. So, like, yeah.
And
Yeah, let's do it.
kudos to whoever put this trailer together as well. Because, again, I don't know how much footage like of the actual movie ends up in trailers. Sometimes there's some discrepancy with all of that.
The trailer house is usually a separate entity than the studio, so the people who make the trailers didn't necessarily, or didn't at all, work on the movie.
But
they just work with what they're getting.
Something I appreciate about this trailer in particular is even if it was just for like 15 seconds, essentially simulating the feeling of being on the Haunted Mansion ride as we are trekking across the screen with the text going by, and we are seeing this man walk down the hallway with the
repeating
portrait.
hallway with the changing portrait.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was excellent.
Yes.
Like that is a great way to simulate the feeling of sort of being on the ride, watching all these different vignettes as you within the Haunted Mansion as you go by. That was a really good way and a really efficient way of being able to simulate that feeling while the audience is sitting perfectly still. So kudos.
I'm kind of expecting this to be, I know you call it candy-coated horror when it's aimed at kids. I want to say family friendly, but probably closer to the PG-13 side of things. Like, I think, again, because we have Del Toro's fingerprints on this, and just judging from what we've seen from the trailer, I think we are going to be in legit scary territory. I don't think we're going to be in adults only territory, but I also don't think your 7-year-old is going to be okay with
Not
this.
candy-coated horror, because candy-coated horror is a term specifically coined by Tess Stone, the comic artist behind Hannah Is Not a Boy's Name.
Okay.
Yeah, he
It's
coined
been a
that
minute
term.
since I've heard that.
I know, right?
Wow.
He coined that term, and it was one of those terms that I saw, and I'm like, yes, I love that, to
And that's
describe a
your
lot of things I like.
Coralines, your Paranormans, your stuff like that.
A lot of that, like, it's like, basically the Nightmare Before Christmas, where it's just like, here are these bright and colorful things that are also kind of macabre, and they can be family friendly, or they can be really fucked up. Anywhere in between on that particular spectrum. But what you're talking about is what I like to kind of refer to as a little bit of more of like introductory horror. The horror that doesn't necessarily pull its punches, but it's still approachable for people who don't normally dip their toes into the genre, or are kids experiencing the genre for the first time.
So I think we're, unlike horror movies where they're made for adults, but they go for like a PG-13 rating, so they have to kind of turn things. Unlike horror
Megan, I'm
movies
looking in your direction.
where they're a little neutered sometimes to try to get a larger audience. My guess for this one would be that it will be aimed in the probably PG-13. I don't think they'll try to put PG on this. Like, I think that's going to be like, and you gave Poltergeist a PG rating too, and look what happened.
Well, that was before the PG-13.
That was before PG-13 existed.
That's one of the reasons why PG-13 exists now.
Hilariously, the reason PG-13 exists,
Indiana Jones.
Indiana was that was the Temple of Doom, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So then the very first PG-13 movie was Red Dawn. Weird trivia! You're learning things watching this
Between
video.
Poltergeist and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, like, the MPAA was looking at Steven Spielberg going, what the hell, man?
And it's like, we need a happy medium because we are traumatizing some kids, but it's not scary enough to be adults only. It's like, wait a minute, there's an entire demographic between 6-year-olds and 30-year-olds. What do we do with that?
Well, I don't want to give them too much credit. Like, don't get me wrong, I do think it was a good idea to create the PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give them too much credit on account of how often they clutch their pearls, you know, at the weirdest stuff. But anyway.
The MPAA and their shenanigans are an entirely other video, probably on an entirely other channel by people who do a fuck ton more research on that than we do.
Yep, I don't have time for that.
And nope. But I'm betting that this will be PG-13 actually aimed at a PG-13 crowd, as opposed to used to be an R and got neutered by the studio at PG-13. I don't think we're going to get gore.
I'm picturing scary stories to tell in the dark, but maybe a step or two below that.
Yeah.
Because Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark actually did have some body horror stuff to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think we're gonna, which also had Guillermo del Toro in his involvement. So I think because it's Disney, it will be a couple of steps below that.
Yeah.
In terms of like, well, that's gonna keep me up at night as you know, an 11-year-old.
But still a little scarier than your Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, I think what we're kind of looking at here is, and we're going to go back into theme park history. Walt Disney World at one point had an alien encounter ride, and it's currently reskinned as like a Stitch encounter.
I've done that.
That's its final thing. It was originally supposed to be like a Geiger,
xenomorph, right?
It was supposed to be a xenomorph, and they couldn't get the license.
They couldn't get the rights.
Yeah, no, and there was also kind of the like, it's a Disney park. Do we want to put a xenomorph in it? So
And
they
yet
came up with
did have it on the Great Movie Adventure Ride.
I know, and it scared me as a child. But they did. They came up with their own alien, and it was this ride where it's like, it's in a test tube. Oh no, it got out. and the riders are all in a room, in a circle, held down by shoulder restraints. And it's like, there's things dripping on you. You can feel it walking behind you. You can feel its tongue licking the back of your neck. Like, it is
immersive.
It's a lot of like, you know, brushes under the seat, steam and smoke. And like, you know, there's nothing actually touching you aside from the restraint. But it's fucking terrifying for a ride in Disney World, you know, 20 feet away from fucking Space Mountain. So they reskinned it. It's Stitch now. It's less scary, but you are still very much held down in a room in the dark with things touching you. That's kind of where I am with this. Like, I think we're kind of looking at alien encounter levels of scary. It's not Halloween Horror Nights. It's not going to fuck you up, but it's definitely like, this is for the braver children in the audience, and maybe don't bring your 7-year-old in. I don't think they'll enjoy the experience.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is your favorite thing in the Haunted Mansion, and do you think you'll get a glimpse of it in this movie, just based on what we saw?
I mean,
there's a lot to
I'm a
love.
simple bitch with simple needs. And so this is kind of a charged answer because I was very happy when they brought the Hatbox Ghost back as a functional animatronic, but I already know in this movie he's being played by Jared fucking Leto. So like,
that's a double-edged sword. Like, oh no, that was, someone made a wish on a monkey's paw for the Hatbox Ghost to be in
yeah, and the monkey's paw curls and Jared Leto's agent gets a phone call. Honestly, one of the other things I really love is the secret Mickey on the dining room table.
That's cute.
Simple bitch, simple needs.
I'm sure there will be secret Mickeys galore in the movie.
But also, like, the changing portraits are a lot of fun, and we've already seen that we're getting that. The statues that are recessed so it looks like they're following you.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of very fun visual effects in the ride itself. And I'm familiar with the Disneyland one more than anything else, though I have seen the Escher Room in the Disney World
one, which is very impressive.
That is fun. So, yeah, I'd love to see a secret Mickey on the dining room table.
That would
simple
be great.
bitch, simple needs. How about you?
I am, like, don't get me wrong, again, the entire attraction is really fun, and, like, my favorite thing in the world is when they do deck it out for Christmas, the holiday.
Yep.
That
giant moving gingerbread house every time. Amazing.
Even just seeing Jack and Sally, like, it's very cute.
Yeah,
it hits me. Like you said, I am also a simple bitch. Like, I'm not made of stone. I crumble when I see my childhood favorites. It's fine. But no, the thing, just being in the Haunted Mansion, that I always get a kick out of is seeing how they play with shadows in the Haunted Mansion. My favorite thing is always just the shadow of the hand going across the clock.
Yes,
that is my
that's a good
favorite thing in the entire ride. Although there's a lot of really good stuff. The ballroom is gorgeous. Yes. And it looks like we're getting the organ player, so that's really cool.
The ballroom, the duelists. The duelists is always a fun one. I love the wallpaper, let's be real. And I know, like, everyone and their mother has things patterned after the wallpaper. I have a bag that has Pokemon patterned after the Haunted Mansion wallpaper.
Very cool.
It's amazing. I also really like a snarling door.
Oh,
just the one that bulges out and you can hear it snarling, and I'm like, gimme. Just
cool.
Gimme. I love it.
There's something
so much good shit.
There's something very, very cool about seeing the sort of rubbery way the door moves. You know, that like something on the other side is like pushing against it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's straight out of like the original Haunting of Hill House, like the one from the 50s. Not the one with Owen Wilson in it that I talked about earlier.
Okay. But yeah, no, if you ever get a chance to go to a Disney park, ride the Haunted Mansion in whatever flavor it is where you are. Like, it's worth it. It's a fun time.
There's also the Muppets. The Muppets Haunted Mansion.
Muppets Haunted Mansion is on Disney Plus, and that is also a very good time. And again, that's also one where it's like, yeah, we've got some fun stuff, and also there's some legitimately creepy stuff in there, because Muppets are good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, final thoughts on this trailer, aside from Jamie Lee Curtis as Madame Leota.
This looks very promising.
Oh.
Again, for something that has been in development for so long, I'm very impressed in what we're seeing so far. Yeah, like I said, I just can't believe it's real.
Yeah, I kind of stopped thinking it existed.
I've been seeing like Deadline and Hollywood Reporter articles like pop up every now and again talking about it, and every time over the course of the past, no joke, 9 years.
Oh God, has it been that long?
It's been a little longer than that, but like
Wow.
9 years was like, I think when I wrote an article for the Movie Chick
Oh my
about
God.
like some stuff that they were talking about doing. That was back when like Ryan Gosling was like tangentially attached to this, which again was like 9 years ago.
But it's always kind of been, yeah, Guillermo del Toro's Haunted Mansion, which
Yeah.
is like, hello.
So like again, I like after a lot of waiting, I just sort of decided to like, and a lot of like waiting on other projects that were also in development
Yeah.
hell.
Just because it gets announced at Comic-Con doesn't mean it's going to continue to exist.
Yeah, it's just after seeing some projects pop up and like get developed and talked about and then die, and or like just sort
That
of
girl.
you know, it's just one of those things where I sort of stopped getting my hopes up anytime development talk sprung up, and my mentality towards things was always just, I'll believe it when I see a trailer. And even then, I'm like, sometimes I see trailers where their studios go under and like it takes years and years and years for the filmmakers to actually find new distributors for their films. So I'm even sort of wary when it comes to trailers being released, but when it comes specifically to development stuff, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see a trailer, and we have a
Here we
trailer.
fucking
So
are.
I'm flabbergasted that here we
And
are.
sometime this year, it says.
Yeah.
We're in March. We got 9 months. I'm wondering if they're waiting to see what release calendars look like. Like, can we release this in spoopy season without huge competition?
Like, is there another big slasher franchise, you know, coming?
I wouldn't
like,
even say that. Is there a family franchise? Because if this is threading the sweet spot and also wants the younger audience, because again, I think, and if they've already announced this, like, put it in the comments, but I think we're aiming for like a PG-13 rating here. It's not going to be competition with another big slasher or sequel or whatever. It's going to be competition with another movie that will steal the family audience.
I don't know what sort of spoopy things. I really need to, like, I've been so busy with work, I haven't been looking ahead at like this spoopy calendar past April, because I'm like, okay, Scream's coming out very, very soon.
Next week!
And Evil Dead is coming out at the beginning of April.
Oh, heck.
And then after that, my brain is a complete blank canvas in terms of upcoming horror.
I mean, it's
releases.
2 of your favorite things, and that's all you got the bandwidth for.
Clearly.
But yeah, I think we are, this is my guess, I think we are waiting on a release date to see if there are any other family-friendly movies to either avoid competition with family-friendly spoopy or to lean in and fucking murder it.
Well,
Like,
we'll see.
it's not the first time we've seen a Disney release date align with DreamWorks or a something else and just kind of go, bitch, you thought.
So yeah, I
Disney
guess we'll
does
see.
this.
I guess
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. I'm very excited. I am once again stuck on Jamie Lee Curtis as Madame Leota. Just like, gimme. Just gimme.
So good.
It's probably going to scare me in theaters because I am that person. And I have that startle reflex. So, God bless the humans sitting around me. They're going to have to hear the when things happen.
It won't scare me. I know no fear. But I will enjoy
You'll
it.
be sitting there laughing at me.
Probably.
Yeah. Yep. That's how this friendship works. That's how this friendship
But
works.
I adore Guillermo del Toro, and
yeah.
I adore the Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this, regardless, should be an excellent time.
Yes. Hey.
All right. I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. As I mentioned earlier, we have a horror channel called Silver Screams where we talk about other horror things. Again, we will be talking about Scream 6 very, very soon. So keep an eye on our channel there. And I also do a Lost retrospective podcast called No Love Lost, where my co-host Willink loves Lost and I don't. We talk about it.
And I'm Katie. You can follow me all over the social medias and on Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. Yeah, you've seen all the fun shit that's on this channel. I have my Twitch VODs. I have all sorts of just fun, ridiculous stuff going on. I also do a... There goes the brain. Haunted Mansion! It's gone! It's gone!
At least you didn't go, I have a podcast called Lost.
That was a fun one. No, the 1000th ghost is my soul leaving my body. As I try to get things done on a Thursday night. Friday night. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
I do a weekly Monday night show called Nighttime at the Nerd Bar with my co-host Carrie. That's on the Fanversation YouTube channel. We talk about all things nerdy, which generally boils down to, because of our interests, anime, horror, and video games. So check that out. We have a live chat, we have VOD, we have a very good time. If you want to support this channel, we have a Patreon, which gets you Ruby reactions early, because we're smack in the middle of that right now. We have a Ko-fi if you want to throw a couple bucks our way, and we take commissions, not requests, commissions. All that info is linked down there. Vote in your local elections, support your local post office, support your local library, even if it's just walking in the door, hanging out for a little bit, and then walking out. Those little door sensors keep track of how many people go in and out, and the numbers help. So support your local library.
Digital tracking stuff helps too. Like, I use the Hoopla app to listen to a lot of audiobooks because I have a library card and it makes my life so much better.
Your local library also has like audiobooks, podcasts, ebooks. If you are in school or if you need access to scholarly articles, they've got JSTOR access. They've got access to a lot of scholarly databases, and they oftentimes have a lynda.com account that you can use. So like, support your local library, take advantage of all the digital stuff that they offer. It's good for them, it's good for you, yes.
I hope you learned a very important lesson about libraries.
Wrong horror franchise, but I appreciate you.
My name was Booker.
Stop it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. That's from a book, I think.
It's from a podcast.
I know.
I know.